Today, in the media conference with Lal Goel, which is brought to you by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV, News Gaon se, Samvad Sarokar News, Organ Donation India Foundation and Gyan. Our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topic. And today is a very, very special day. And today is the world is celebrating International Women's Day. अबला जीवन तेरी हाय यही कहानी आंचल में दूध और आंखों में पानी all women are working women only a few are salaried. International Women's Day IWD is celebrated on 8th March around the world. It is a focal point in the movement for women's rights. It celebrates the social, economic, cultural and political achievements of women while highlighting the problems they face in day-to-day life as well as in the professional environment. The day also marks as a call to action for accelerating gender parity. This year, International Women's Day is being especially marked to highlight the challenges brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic. The International Women's Day can be traced back to February 28, 1909, when the Socialist Party of America designated this day in honor of the garment workers' strike in New York. However, the first official celebrations of International Women's Day happened in 1911 when women from several European countries, Austria, Denmark, Germany, and Switzerland, participated in demonstrations. More than 1 million women took to the street to demand for the right to vote and the right to hold public offices. Women also protested employment, sex discrimination, and equal pay. Another important demonstration in Europe dating to March 8, 1917, saw women textile workers in St. Petersburg taking over the streets, which later on grew to become the Russian Revolution. The day has been predominantly celebrated by communist countries and socialist movements until 1967, when United Nations recognized the day and started celebrating it as the International Women's Day. International Women's Day commemorates on March 8th of every year, is earmarked to celebrate womanhood and recognize her achievements without regard to divisions, national, ethnic, linguistic, cultural, economic, or political. It is a day to acknowledge and make people aware of women's rights and gender equality, parity, and call to action for accelerating women's equality. Every year on this day, people across the world celebrate the achievements of women and they take inspiration from them. Ideally, the honor of women should be celebrated every day, but International Women's Day makes it a little more special. With the changing times, women have proved that nothing is impossible and they are the change they want to see in the world. From being vocal about the issues to breaking the stereotype, women have proved that the strong will to achieve things can make even the hardest thing easy for them. Women in leadership, achieving an equal future in a COVID-19 world is the theme for this year's Women's Day. It highlights how women can be equal partner in decision-making processes, especially those regarding policy making. This year, the need of the hour is to bring to light the tremendous efforts by women and girls around the world in shaping a more equal future and recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic and highlight the gaps that remain. According to the United Nations, only 3 countries in the world have 58% or more women in parliament. Women are heads of state in only 22 nations. In fact, globally, 119 countries have never had a woman leader as a head of state. The United Nations adds that at the current rate of progress, gender parity will not be reached in parliaments before 2063. That is not all. Gender parity for heads of state will not happen till the year 2150, 2150. Speaking about International Women's Day 2021, UN Women Executive Director Fumzail Vilambo Nikuka said, I quote, "We need women's representations that reflects all women and girls in all their diversity and abilities and across all cultural, social, economic, and political situations. This is the only way we will get real societal change that incorporates women in decision making as equals and benefit us all," unquote. In India, women turnout during India's parliamentary general election was 65.63% compared to 67.09% turnout for men. India ranks 20th from the bottom in terms of representation of women in parliament. From the bottom, not from the top. Women have held the posts of president and prime minister in India, as well as chief ministers of various states. Indian voters have elected women to numerous state legislative assemblies and national ministry for many decades. While politicians across India are keen to talk about women empowerment and the political legacies of the women remain largely anomalies in the political landscape. The fact remains women are underrepresented in state and national decision-making bodies. According to a report by the Association of Democratic Reforms, ADR, and National Election Watch, NEW, the state of representation of women in the country's decision-making process continues to be dismal, with only 9% women MLAs and MPs across the country in 2019. The lack of women political candidates is a potentially critical barrier to their eventual representation in government. For instance, in India's recently concluded 2019 national election, about 14% of those elected to parliament were women. Although 48.03% is the population of women in India, there are only 78 women MPs out of 543 in Lok Sabha, that is only 14.36%. Total 25 women MP out of 245 in Rajya Sabha, that is only 10.20%. One thing which the COVID-19 pandemic has taught us is that when women lead, we see positive results. Some of the most efficient and successful responses to the COVID-19 pandemic were led by women. They are even on the forefront of humanity's battle against the pandemic, be it as frontline and health sector workers or scientists, doctors, and caregivers, as well as few of the political leaders in different countries. However, recent data released by the United Nations reveal an alarming disparity. These women frontline workers are getting paid 11% less than their male counterparts globally. According to United Nations Development Program, in 2021, around 435 million women and girls are living on less than $1.90 a day or 139 Indian rupees per day. Nearly 47 million women have been pushed to poverty because of the COVID-19 pandemic. The report also adds that women's employment is at 19% more risk than men. And to discuss and to celebrate this day, that is International Women's Day, we have 5 well-educated, learned, qualified, experienced, elite women with me on a panel. And I would like to invite my first guest. He is Dr. Sundari KP. Dr. Sundari was the Vice Principal and Head of the Department of Psychology and Mass Media at Maharishi Dayanand College, Mumbai. Dr. Sundari has been very successful as a therapist, teacher, and instructor for the past 25 years. She is a member of the Board of Examiners for PhDs at the Chennai University. She has completed her work on her DLit on extent of paraphilics in the gay community across cultural comparison. Dr. Sundari has been regularly invited as a resource person by corporate sectors, colleges, universities, RBI, associations, etc. She has conducted several workshops on stress management, personality development, Reiki, assertive training, and laughter therapy. Child psychology workshops, little adult for pediatricians all over the country was successfully completed by Dr. Sundari from year 2007 to 2010. From 2012 to 2017, she was the director for a set of training workshops for pediatricians titled Cracking the Kids Code, which was held in 35 centers across India. She is the director of Indus Viva Early Learning Center for the Especially Abled at Bengaluru. From the center, she actively counsels more than 60 clients all over the world. She is a Reiki Grandmaster and has been teaching Reiki for 25 years. She is also an expert in EMDR, a therapy for PTSD. She is a practicing yoga master. She has undertaken a course in art of living. Dr. Sundari has keen interest in research and published several research papers in reputed national and international journals. Welcome, Dr. Sundari, on our show. Dr. Sundari, today we are celebrating International Women's Day. So happy International Women's Day to you and to all my panelists, as well as all the women who are watching our show, as well as to the men also. Happy International Women's Day. Now, we would like to know the importance and why we are celebrating International Women's Day. Dr. Sundari KP, please.
Thank you, Mr. Goel. As a woman, first of all, a happy Women's Day to one and all of you watching this show and who are in this show. And of course, a happy day to the men behind the woman. A woman would not be complete without the word itself has men. So men are there behind every successful woman. Yes, that's what I've seen in my life. One point that comes to my mind is, Mr. Goel, after you gave a kind of analysis as to when Women's Day celebration started, it's more than a century. And where are we still? See, as a counselor, as a therapist, I come across many women who come to me with a lot of psychological problems. Are we heading towards women empowerment? My first point is that it is centuries and still women are undermined. The second thing is our societies, as we were discussing earlier, looks at women from the time she's born to whatever it is as a stranger. In Hindi, bolte hai, sauteli hai, meaning you're never a part of that family you're born in, where you go into, and so on. So where are we heading? Are we forced to accept these attitudes, these laws which are discriminatory? Is it easy for a woman to live her life empowered? There are exceptions, I don't say no. Ancient India had very good leaders. Lakshmi Bai, Rani Lakshmi Bai, she was an exceptional leader. She was a woman. We've heard of many more people like that. Where did all that go? Is it that with the contemporary India, where we're talking about modernization and women getting education and stuff, that somewhere a gap has come in? That's one point I would like all of you to think of. Now, how can we strengthen women? Of course, COVID did bring out a big point. Women are known to be challenge faces. See, every woman knows as a housewife, as a mother, as a daughter, etc., that you are good managers. Yes, we are nurturing, we are empathetic, we are emotional, we are very good finance. They call us the finance minister and home minister, etc. A woman is a good leader. But where is that going in public life? Are we somewhere lagging? Is there something we can do? Yes. UN says, I was just reading an article on UN, and they say that sustainable growth and development is what is going to help the world to move ahead. And the fifth point in sustainable development talks about girls and women empowerment. Are we doing it? So, should this start only after a girl or a woman becomes an adult? Or is it something which must start much, much younger? In fact, I feel there should be something called a life cycle approach. Can we have women leaders who have done exceptionally well in various fields? Can we have them as role models for our young little girls to watch in school? Can they get motivated through that? Can they accept that a woman is not meant just to cook or to bring up her children? Yes, that is an important job. You're an excellent homemaker. We take pride in it, but that cannot be your only thing in life. You have much more. See, ultimately, being has got something called potentials, regardless of gender. I believe strongly in it as a psychologist. And these potentials have to be actualized. Unfortunately, in the world, when we come in and work as different roles, these potentials of women are somewhere hindered. Parents tell the girl, oh, you have to get married and go to a different family. You can't be doing this. You can't work late hours in the night. There are so many serial shows on this. Where are we going? Is there no end to this? Yes, there are some tips, some steps we guys can follow. First and foremost, I feel we must empower girls to take into STEM professions. What do we mean by STEM? Science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Yes, encourage them. Don't tell them you're a girl, you can't do this. A young girl who dreams to be an astronaut. Why can't we encourage her? Why do we always think our girls have to be married at 21? They have to have their children. They have to sit at home. They have to listen to their husbands. It's not like that. We are all human beings who need to actualize our potentials. Here, I would like to say that I am an empowered woman. Yes, I belong to a very traditional family, but thanks to the man behind me, he allowed me to go ahead and achieve my dreams. I studied after marriage. During my pregnancies, I did my PhD, my doctorate, and I started working. So it has to be adjustments coming through. And again, if we have to empower our women, we have to empower the men to change their attitudes. I can proudly say, as a mother of two young men, one thing I have taught them is that from young, I have taught them, don't discriminate between a woman and man. Gender is only by birth. Look at the soul inside that person. Help them to achieve what they want to. So this is my message to all of you out here, because in the mental health field, as I watch, I have been counseling for almost 40 years. And the number of women who come, who are able to express their mental health issues is quite alarming. There are many women who can't speak about what's happening in their lives. Domestic violence, discrimination, there are so many things. Sexual abuse. Does anybody speak about such things? Do we tell our women, you have to fight it out, you have to express what's happening in your lives? So this is my message on Women's Day. I'm not trying to make it very gloomy. What I'm trying to say is, you have every right, whether a man or a woman, you have a human right, birthright, to express your thoughts. And with this COVID ending and this new year starting, let us women join hands with the men and say, we are going to help every little girl to empower herself and achieve great things so that our nation is a great nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sundari Gandhi, for giving your very, very strong views about International Women's Day. And she said very clearly that, yes, the United Nations Sustainable Growth Clause 5 clearly mentioned the empowerment of the girls and women. But are we doing that? We are going in that path? And she says, because she is counseling for the past 40 years, she come across with so many women, and they are explaining how they are undergoing the trauma in their families, at their home. All types of abuses, whether it's a sexual abuse or the domestic violence, those women are undergoing. And that if this is the thing, how we can consider that we are going to have the sustainable development. And she also mentioned very nicely that every man is behind women. And she has given, even in English, if we write woman, so man is always behind the woman. It is W and then man. So the myth is that every successful man is, the woman is behind every successful woman. But now she has said, no, it is not like this. Man is always behind the woman. And she is lucky to have such a good husband that he allowed her to study after the marriage, and she did her PhD during her pregnancy, etc. And she says that if we decide to empower the girls from the very beginning, then we can become a great nation. Thank you very much, Dr. Sundari Gandhi, for giving such a strong and powerful message to everyone, including the men, so that the women are not behind them, they are ahead of them. Thank you very much, Dr. Gandhi. Now, I would like to invite my next guest, and she is Miss Hemlata Bhandari. Miss Hemlata Bhandari is the former airport manager, Chennai. She is MA Economics, MA in Personal Management, and MBA in HR. She worked in Airport Authority of India from 1984 till 2020. Worked as airport manager in Mangalore Airport from 2013 till 2017, later in Chennai Airport till her retirement in 2020. She worked as professor of economics. She worked with All India Radio, AIR, and conducted programs like Sports Snippets, Youth Drama, and To Read News. She also worked with Doordarshan and did programs like LM Thendral, Employment News, etc. She anchored various programs. She wrote many articles in Hindi, English, and Tamil in different leading magazines. Welcome, Ms. Hemlata Bhandari on our show. Ms. Bhandari, you have heard what Dr. Sundari Gandhi has spoken. And now we would like to know your views on International Women's Day. Ms. Hemlata Bhandari, please.
Good morning, Mr. Goel. My source of inspiration and role model is my mother, who always stood beside me like a rock. My greatest supporter, and she was the most unique creation of God, and always been there for guidance whenever I needed her the most. She has guided me and showed me the right path and motivated me to do the best. She was a wonderful woman of her family, ocean of knowledge, mirror of children, address of love, and navigator of a family boat, great friend and philosopher. Always paved the way as a stepping stone towards success. Female empowerment could be defined in 5 separate categories: social, educational, economic, political, and psychological. International Women's Day choose to celebrate women's achievements raise awareness about women's equality, lobby for accelerated gender parity, and fundraise for female-focused charities. While the Western countries are still making progress, third world countries like India still lag behind in women empowerment. India is amongst the countries which are not safe for women. Firstly, women in India are in danger of honor killings. Their family thinks it is right to take their lives if they bring shame to the reputation of their legacy. Strong women are not simply born, we are forged through the challenges of life. With each challenge, we grow mentally and emotionally. We move forward with our head held high and the strength that cannot be denied. A woman who has been through the storm and survived. In COVID-19, we know we are warriors. Women can be empowered in various ways. The government has come up with various schemes such as Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao Yojana, Mahila Ihat, Mahila Shakti Kendra, Working Women Hostel, Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana to empower women. We can also empower women to abolishing social evils like the dowry system and child marriage. Feminism is not about making women strong. Women are already strong. It's about changing the way the world perceives that strength. Everything is easy when you're busy, but nothing is easy when you're lazy. All power is within you. We women can do anything and everything. Women's empowerment indicates receiving and supporting women who are on the outline of the decision-making room. We have to contribute wisdom, expertise, or ideas to empower other women, gender equality, working together, giving women an equal voice, rights, and opportunities. Empowering performance or enlightenment, have faith, work with strong values, ethics and morals based on charity, kindness, compassion, and the genuine passion to help others. Empowerment of self, the ability to choose. Exercise balance with your family. Always prioritize family and work accordingly. Must include the power of power networks. The empowerment equation to success is desire plus action is equal to success. Action, there are 5 A's: acquisition, affirmative attitude, accountability, asking, and accomplish. Smart work and proper planning. Expand your reach, try new, different, and creative ideas like website, blog, charity sponsorships, public speaking, radio interviews, teleseminars, volunteerism, etc. Stay accountable to the bottom line. By being potent enough to see results and persistent enough to gain the most. Envisioning goals beyond goal setting is your tireless efforts and stay empowered. Keep Power Network alive. A challenge world is an alert world and challenges come from change. So let us all choose to challenge. Celebrate women's achievements, raise awareness against bias. Take action for equality. Despite failures, you stand up. Despite sorrow, you cheer. Let us all recognize our inherent strength, capabilities within us, and fire our ambitions into actions. Let our achievements enhance the quality of living on this earth and motivate the lesser fortunate to raise the occasion and feel empowered. Women are inspiration for others in so many ways. They are wonderfully managed both their personal and as well as professional lives. Happy Women's Day 2021. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Hemlata Bhandari, for giving your views. And what Ms. Bhandari started with giving thanks to her mother, and she says because of her mother's inspirational and whatsoever she has become because of mother's vision. And she says that the condition in India, especially for the women, is not good. And she says it's very unsafe because it's not safe to go out in country in like India. And she has mentioned that if women has to be strong, they have to develop themselves, they have to make the targets, and they can develop themselves. They have all the qualities among them. The only problem is that they have to be guided properly. And she says that if we will decide that we have to achieve, we can very well achieve. And she has highlighted 5 A's, as well as she has given that what the women can do. So thank you very much, Ms. Hemlata Bhandari, for such a nice and beautiful message on this International Women's Day. And I'm sure, like you were, because I know when you were at the Mangalore airport as the airport manager, how efficiently and how you were dealing with the everyone whosoever coming to the airport. And after you left, I can vouch that even all those who were not happy with you at that time, they were praising, and they says, yes, we all now feel how she was dedicated to the work. And because people were at that time thinking that a woman handling the entire airport in the day and night, and even I have seen that you are doing the duties for 48 hours, even sleeping in the lounge without any problems. This shows the commitment of a woman. And if the women strength, we understand the women are not at all behind anyone. So you have proved in your lifetime, I'm sure many of the young girls, women will take inspiration of you, because you have shown the path what you have shown in your career. Thank you very much, Ms. Bhandari, for giving your views. Now I would like to invite my next guest, and she is Professor Dr. Vinita Rai. Professor Dr. Vinita Rai is Registrar of School of Social Work, Roshni Nyalaya at Mangalore. Professor Dr. Rai is a national karate champion. Sorry, there was some disturbance. Professor Dr. Rai is a national karate champion. She has put lots of efforts in popularizing waste management and creation of plastic-free surrounding, for which she got Republic Day Award for the leadership in anti-plastic Andolan. Professor Dr. Vinita Rai is a grassroots level worker for upliftment of women and children. Professor Dr. Vinita Rai had done a commendable job as NSS coordinator and Youth Red Cross nodal officer of Mangalore University for 5 years. She was declared Best NSS Program Officer of Karnataka. Her passion is to prepare youth for leadership. Welcome, Professor Dr. Vinita Rai on our show. Professor Dr. Vinita Rai, you have already heard what Dr. Sundari Gandhi as well as Ms. Hemlata Bhandari has spoken. Now, today, as we all are celebrating International Women's Day, we would like to know your views on International Women's Day. Professor Dr. Vinita Rai, please.
Happy Women's Day to all women who are participating in this program and also who are listening to this program. Today, I received a message which says like this: you are wonderful. You play so many wonderful roles and truly God's blessing on earth. For me, it is not just today, but every day is your day. I was so happy to receive this message, and many more women would have received this kind of inspiring messages. Messages still inspire us and reminds us our responsibilities. Thanks for such good messages which inspire us. There is no chance for the welfare of the world unless women are improved. Unless women improve, there is no chance for this world to improve. Swami Vivekananda said this before, and I strongly believe that. Why? Because it is not possible for a bird to fly on one wing. We need men and women, both walk together, both fly together. We need the companionship, we need the support of each other, for which many of us struggle, many of us do not understand. We have so many challenges around. Now, let me speak about few challenges women face and some of the way forward. One challenge that I would like to speak about is that women should have equal rights to take risks. Women are afraid to take risks because of the de-establishing the family. I feel like doing so many things, but I can't because I need to do so many things in my own house. I can't expect all the men in my house house to suddenly change. Especially my husband was brought up in such a way that he does not know to cook, and I could not teach him with my busy schedule. And if I am not there in the house, that cooking is not there, cleanliness of the house is missing. So, but we adjust very well. We understand each other. The outgoing, whatever things that I can't do with the electronic or going out to the office and doing all that, my husband will do. And that's how we adjust and get along very well. And but many women, because of this fear, though they are capable of doing so many things, they are not in a position to do because of lack of time or the fear of de-establishing in the family. I strongly believe that all of us are blessed by God in some way or the other. Let it be men or women, all of us have the abilities. We are blessed by God, but it is in our hands to make the best use of this blessing and to go forward. One more thing that I would like to say is that about lack of respect for caregiving. I observe as a social worker, what I observe around is that women receive respect, but at the same time, many a times I find that women do not get the respect for caregiving. They are taken for granted. There is no consideration. They do not have rest. Sometimes we see them working like a machine. So women need that rest, relaxation. They need to have some time for themselves. And then we also come across a lot of maternal mortality cases. Many women die even today during their pregnancy, maybe because of delay in the medical treatment that is available from the remote areas. They are delayed. By the time they reach the city or the hospital, wherever the care could be given, we hear about the death. Timely maternal care is again lacking. Girl child is denied intervention in healthcare as well as nutrition. Many of our girls suffer from anemia and malnutrition. Even I come across so many women, I see them anemic. I always have this task of helping them how they could be donating blood, because I am a regular blood donor, because I am a strong woman. My parents have given me good nutritious food when I was young. Later I am able to manage things on my own. So that problem of anemia is not with me. I want women around me. So they should be able to donate blood. First, for that, they need to have their strong nutrition. They need to be fully nourished for that. But that is not happening. We need to work on that. And for many women, education is denied due to early marriage or maybe due to household work. They have a lot of responsibility at home. Even now we see, because of that, so many girls stay back at home. With this pandemic, we see so many school dropouts. We can see next week onwards, we are going to do a survey in Bangalore to study on this problem of school dropout due to this pandemic. Then women are navigating between career and motherhood. It's two full-time jobs. We need the support from the men who are at home, and also they need to understand us, which is not happening everywhere. We need to focus on that. As already mentioned by Mr. Goel, lack of women in political participation, lack of women in positions of power. It may be political, it may be in the judicial system, or maybe it may be in the corporate boardrooms. Lack of women leadership holds back not only women, but all the people. It will not only hold women, I repeat, hold all the people backward. Now, lack of political participation already mentioned. Now I would like to say about pink colorization of jobs. Women are deemed to fit for, is what generally people think, pink collar jobs. It may be teachers, lecturers, nurses, receptionists, babysitters, and many a times some of these jobs, other jobs are denied in other fields. Sexual harassment at the workplace. due to judicial system. Justice is denied to women, trafficking of women. All these are the problems that we come across now. And with this pandemic, impact of pandemic, majority of the frontline healthcare workers in the primary healthcare givers, there is a great threat to their own health. And also many times we have seen they are paid less compared to their men counterparts. And then we have also witnessed unemployment of women due to this pandemic. It may be in the industry, it may be in the hospitality, it may be in the beauty parlor, it may be as teachers, stopgap lecturers, and also domestic workers. Many people have stopped their domestic workers. Where do they go? How do they survive? Marginalized the family. So this has marginalized these women in the family. Domestic violence. I have come across in the newspaper, lockdown indoors. The 68 days of lockdown has, domestic violence has increased. 1,437 reported cases were there. Unreported, we do not know. Then the psychological impact of the pandemic. Women face isolation, anxiety, loneliness, stress, depression. All these women are facing. Sleeplessness, lack of appetite. And we need to change the mindset. We need to move forward. We need to move forward. How do we move forward? Awareness generation, sensitization. Today in Karnataka, all the NSS volunteers, especially a program is organized for boys, the college students, to sensitize on this issue. Today all over Karnataka, the program is going on, online program, mainly sensitizing the boys. And then women should be respected at home. First, women need to be respected in their own houses. Once they are respected in their own houses, they will receive the respect outside also. Girl child or boy child, both should be treated equally, but it is not happening even today. Girl child is not a welcome sign. Boy child is preferred due to so many reasons. Gender-based surveys we need to organize, technological interventions, maybe improve CCTV coverage, panic button in smartphones, all that we need to educate more and more women on these lines. And more than anything, we need awakening of the women first. Not only the men, but also awakening of the women is very much required. If the women are awakened, then the whole house is awakened. When the whole house is awakened, the society is awakened. So the education, not simply getting a degree, but true education where women are awakened, it is really needed. I would like to quote one example. During my field work, a woman was beaten up by her husband so badly, and sometimes he used to get even snake and he used to throw it on her. That too when she was feeding a baby. I have received a call from such women, please help me. And then one instance I would like to give where people went to rescue a woman when she was beaten up by her alcoholic husband. That time she stopped those people from helping her because she said, after all, he's my husband. He is hitting me. After all, he's my husband. That means she's admitting that her husband has the right to hit her. This has to be changed. The mindset has to be changed. Let us all work together to bring about this change in the women as well as in the men. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Vinita, for giving your views. And what Professor Dr. Vinita said, awake the woman. If she's awakened, the house will be awakened, and then the society. And she has given two very, very alarming example that how the people treat the women, and how one husband has thrown a snake when she was feeding the child. And another, when the husband was beating, few people have gone to save her, but then she says, no, 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 don't let him beat, because after all, he is my husband. So she says, when such type of mental setup, mindset is there, how we can empower the women. We have to awaken them. We have to tell them that these are our rights. No one has right to beat or has any superior right. She has touched almost all the issues which today the women are facing, whether it's a sex discrimination, whether the girl child, boy child, she mentioned about the pink collar jobs, how only those pink collar jobs are only for the women. Why not for the men? Why the women are not allowed for the other jobs? So she says that when we have such a discrimination in our country, how we expect that the women can be empowered. And unless everyone is not empowered, it's not possible that the nation can develop. Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Vinita, for giving such a alarming instance, which you have said. It has given me shiver. No one can even think that somebody can throw a snake on to his wife. No, it's not at all tolerable, not acceptable. Anyways, this is the society. Now, thank you very much, Professor Dr. Vinita. Now I would like to invite my next guest, and she is Dr. Rukhsana Hassan. Dr. Rukhsana Hassan is a renowned psychologist, trainer, coach, motivational speaker, special educator for early childhood education and development, a specialized counselor for the drug abusers and alcoholic with an experience of 28 years in rehabilitation center. She holds a PhD in social work and humanity from USA, postgraduate in Master of Arts from Mysore University, postgraduate in diabetic health educator from St. John's, Bangalore, and postgraduate in human rights, New Delhi. Her second PhD from Mother Teresa University in counseling psychology. Presently, she is doing her third PhD in applied science from Rajasthan University. She completed her research in a project about CSW in Bangalore City under Women and Child Development, Government of Karnataka. She has done research about addictive personality, child's development psychology, CDP. It was done with the children of observation home boys, Government of Karnataka. For the outstanding service towards humanity, she was awarded Indra Priyadarshini Award. She is the nominee of Kittur Rani Chennamma, Government of Karnataka, as the best social worker. She was awarded by Art Mantram, Bangalore, for Go Green, Bangalore. She won Women's Achiever Award of N.A. Harris Foundation, Bangalore. She has presented her papers at many international conferences at Turkey, Istanbul University, and Egypt, trained teachers in Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Hyderabad, Pune, and all over Karnataka. She was the counselor in charge of Karnataka State Counseling Center as an advisor for the Karnataka State Minority Commission 2011-2012, and also has designed pilot projects for the GOI and GOK. She is the founder chairperson of the first rehabilitation center. She is the first minority woman in India to have started such a unique, challenging program. She designed mobile computer and tailoring training units with the help of Ministry of Labor, which benefits for the minority girls who are denied education for various reasons. Her title is Smiley Girl of the Town. She builds a new dawn in the darkest dusk just with positive smile. Welcome, Dr. Rukhsana Hassan on our show. Dr. Rukhsana, you have heard earlier the Dr. Sundari Gandhi, Ms. Hemlata Bhandari, Professor Vinita Rai about today's celebration of International Women's Day. Now, we would like to know from you, International Women's Day, Dr. Rukhsana Hassan, please. Please unmute. Please unmute. Please unmute, Dr. Rukhsana. Please unmute yourself. Yes, please. Go ahead.
Am I audible?
Yes, please.
Yes, a very good morning to all the powerful ladies on the screen and off the screen. And I'm really so happy to share my screen with Dr. Sundari. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, let me talk about, like all the three ladies have already spoken about the challenges, about the problem sexual harassment, then alcoholic husbands and all the things. Let me divert the subject to the minority women, the challenges faced as a minority women. I'm sure Vinita will agree with me because she's from Roshni Nilaya, and the kind of treatment, the kind of encouragement, what we get from minority, especially the Muslims. No doubt you today the education level in the minority community has come up high. And if Vinita is on the screen or if she's in the show, she will definitely agree. Many of the students who have completed their graduation, post-graduation, even doctors, I mean MBBS doctors, Ayurvedic doctors, they have completed their education. Soon after their wedding, soon after their marriages, they forget what they have studied and they're just basically housewife and the would-be mothers. This education benefits whom? It has benefited nobody. After a period of 5 years, they come back to me, I have problems with the husband, I have problem with the living condition, I want to work. There is a huge gap of 5 years, and when they have to start it, they don't get a chance. And especially if I have to talk about the Dakshin Kannada ladies, even if I have to speak in English among the group, they look at me, oh, she's an alien. And like not acceptable that the lady speaks loud. Forget about all the other rights and other things. I'm not been allowed to speak loud, or if I see something is wrong, okay, this is wrong and I have to correct it, I'm not allowed even for that. I may have all these degrees, the research and all the other things, with all the onslaught assassination. Every day my character has been assassinated. My immediate family members, my immediate friends, the immediate society, the community, everybody, we have no say. I just had two supports in my family. One was my father-in-law and the second one was my husband. These are the two men behind me and in front of me. Like I'm in between, who has always said, you go on, you just have to manage yourself and just leave them behind whatever they are doing. How many of the families have people like this? The husband is a doctor, the wife is a doctor, but husband says, no, you should not practice. And the wife, very aram says she will listen to the husband. I'm so sure Vanita is back on the screen. Like she's been in this Dakshin Kannada, the coastal part of Karnataka. The challenges faced by the minority women. Like we are supposed to wear the burqa. Of course, there are so many children, there are so many students, there are so many girls, women who are in burqas and who are trying to prove themselves. But again, down the line, what is the support, what they are getting from that particular community? What I am supported with the with non-Muslims and the Christians, the Hindus, I can tell on the screen, and all my brothers who are looking, who are just watching this program should definitely agree, that I will not be allowed to stand on the stage, to speak to the men, to speak to the public. Nowhere, everywhere, there is an thing. But my brothers from my community have forgotten that if they take the ancient history, women, when Islam was just formed, what was Bibi Khuteja, what was Bibi Sarah, what was Bibi Fatima? They were the people who were into all this. But I don't know, now there is a complete kind of closed society which says, no, women is not this. Of course, there are few women who have been, being a kind of disrespect in the thing, but you can't take that small kind of number and then, you put on the whole thing. As in minority women, I can always say, like whatever challenges in this past 28 years I had, if I have to write, every days I can write one full book. Like, what was the challenges, what was the thing. I wear lipstick, not acceptable. I speak to men, not acceptable. I go without a burqa, not acceptable. I said, boss, please don't accept me, but accept the services what I'm doing. I pick up, as Vinita rightly said, I think Vinita only said two such incidents. In a day, I think we will be facing about 5 to 6 such cases where women are beaten up. at night, especially when I was in Mahila police station, the women comes at night and she says, ma'am, this man, I don't want to live with him. I want to give a complaint. Please book a FIR, domestic violence, dowry harassment. Next day morning, we go bring that alcoholic husband, we make him sit. And then the next day and she comes, madam, please, I want back my husband. Whatever it is, I will see that next time he doesn't do. So we women are still not very sure. We are so powerful that we can take such kind of harassments. And there is one such, I would like to say this, that how powerful the women is. The husband was alcoholic for 30 long years. She had 4 children, 3 daughters and 1 son, and she took care of the entire family. Finally, it happened to be that over a period of the same thing, the same harassment and other thing, she became an alcoholic. She became an alcoholic, and then the husband was not ready to accept. Just 1 year she was an alcoholic, but the husband was not ready to accept her. Finally, he took the son. He chased her out of the house with 3 daughters. A woman was able to tolerate the man's behavior of alcoholism for 30 years, whereas a man was not able to take her for 1 year. She said, no, I would like to say it in Kannada, like, Neen kudita idya, idi jana nodidre en heltare. You are an alcoholic, and if the society comes to know, what will they tell? What were you for the last 30 years? When the case came to me, very nicely I asked him, see, when you were an alcoholic, she accepted you. Now she is there an alcoholic. She learned it from you. Why don't you accept her? So this is the kind of situation when a man does, it is legal. When a woman does, it's illegal. So this is what is that. We are already powerful. There is no doubt the tolerance level what we have, the kind of situation what we handle. If there is no gas, we prepare breakfast without fire. If there is no power, we still iron the clothes without power. If there is no provision, we still see that, we give with a child or the family something that fills. We are powerful. There is no equality. Nobody, the men definitely cannot say that, whatever I do, my husband can't do. He always tells me that you are a superwoman. You can't do that. So it's not the question of the superwoman. How much is the society accepting me as a woman? How much is the society accepting me as the challenges what I am doing? What is the challenges what I am not doing? What is it that you have to let me do? My behavior, my approach, my attitude, my pride, my ego? No, I don't have any of these. It is just I have been tagged with each one to make me down. So this is what we have to learn, that, women is already empowered, but that empowerment has to be accepted by the society. This is the only thing I'm so sure even Hemalata, who has been working with all the men, Sundari Gandhi has also been, treating so many alcoholics and so many cases. Vinita, who has been a principal, she must have an treasure of such cases. So here what we have to see, how can we make the society accept the things what we are doing? So this is what I have to, with the serenity prayer, I have to say, accept the things which we cannot change.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Rukhsana Hassan, for giving your very, very strong views. And what Dr. Rukhsana said, that on this International Women's Day, she wanted to highlight the plight of the minority women. And she says, what is that use of education? The minority women are taking education, they are becoming doctors, they are taking degrees. After that, immediately they were married off, and they were not allowed to do the work for which they have been qualified. And she has given her own example how much resistance she is facing still after working so many years. Still the male dominated society is not accepting her to do some social work openly, or to even talk to the male, or to put even the makeup, all those things. And we are celebrating International Women's Day. This is the irony. But the thing is, we have completed more than 100 years of this International or the Women's Day. And today, if in India, if the minority themselves says that their own community, it is not that other communities are forcing them, their own community is not allowing, then what is the use of education? Why we are insisting for the education only? We must educate the male first, not the woman, because the male education is lacking behind the moral obligations for the society, for the women and the girls. And that is, I think, my personal views are that we are lacking. Anyway, thank you very much, Dr. Rukhsana Hassan, for opening our eyes that how the minority and even the male members of the minority communities are playing villain for the empowerment of the women in India. So to blame others is not correct. The blame is there in the own society, the own community. And until that is not been cleared, to celebrate International Women Year is of no use. Anyway, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Rukhsana Hassan, for giving such a eye-opener. I'm really shocked to hear what you have mentioned. I never thought that the women of the minorities can be deprived of their privileges or the rights, how you have narrated. Thank you very much, Dr. Rukhsana. Now, I would like to invite my last guest, and she is Dr. Charu Maheshwari. Dr. Charu Maheshwari is MBBS DGO DNB. She is obstetrician and gynecologist at Rainbow Hospital, Aligarh. She is a dedicated, caring obstetrician and gynecologist with 15 plus years of experience in clinical practice, helping about 40 clients daily with their reproductive elements. She is a member of Indian Medical Association and FOXY, Federation of Obstetrics and Gynecology Society of India. Presently working as a specialist consultant in Rainbow Hospital, Aligarh, and dealing with patients with high risk pregnancy, infertility, and other reproductive problems. She has performed 2,000 plus complicated cesarean sections with favorable outcome with patient satisfaction. She, as a senior laparoscopy surgeon, performed more than 100 cases of infertility, total laparoscopic hysterectomy, ovarian cysts, myomectomy, and other reproductive disorders. She has done her MBBS degree course from Government Medical College, Thrissur, Kerala, Diploma in Obstetrics and Gynecology PG course from Aligarh University, and was awarded gold medal for outstanding performance. She did her diploma in National Board from Batra Hospital and Medical Research Center, New Delhi. Welcome, Dr. Charu Maheshwari, on our show. Dr. Charu Maheshwari, you have heard what Dr. Sundari Gandhi, what Ms. Hemlata Bhandari, what Professor Dr. Vinita Rai, and what Dr. Rukhsana Hassan has mentioned about the International Women's Day celebrations. Now, we would like to know your views on International Women's International Women's Day. Dr. Charu Maheshwari, please.
Good morning, sir, and all my panelists. I am very happy to be talk on this platform where we are raising voice again, for the women. And this International Women's Day, which has been celebrated since the last 100 years, still every year we plan something good for the female. Why always it is happening? We are not celebrating International Men Day. Why? Because everybody has discussed the root cause. Root cause is their mindset, their low education, and the people and the society which they are having their mindset. What I think in my what I see in my profession, what female, why they don't go beyond a certain level. The reason is that the other woman does not allow her to go. If one woman support to the another woman, whether it is in the family, whether it is in the profession, the woman can do the wonders. They can reach to the moon. They can do lot of things, but one woman, if supports to the another, we can change the mindset of the society. We can change the alcoholic husband if the two women, if in that community all women go against to that. No, you should not drink alcohol. We all are against of it. They have to think. But what is the problem in our society? Why they get beaten by their husband? Because they have seen the same thing to their mothers. They have seen that their father has beaten their mother-in-laws has beaten their father-in-law has beaten their mother. They are seeing the same society, and That's why these females accept these things, that this is a normal way of living. We have to tolerate this. So we have to change the mindset by giving education to the 1%. We cannot educate all the women, but we have to empower women like this, that if we are teaching you, you have to teach 4 others. Then it will become more comfortable, more educative. And one person, if I am educated, I can teach a woman that you can have the problem, like you should have vaccination for cervical cancer, because young girls should have the vaccine for cervical cancer. But if that girl goes and tell to her colleagues in the class, in her college, then we will get the more impact of that. Government is doing so many good works for us, especially for the women, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. Why we are not coming to this Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao? Why every time we have to go for Beti Bachao? Because woman is against woman. Because she wants a male baby, the mother-in-law wants male baby. Husband will accept, okay, she's second female, no problem. But mother-in-law will say, no, I want a male baby. So problem comes there. Problem starts from there, because once women start supporting the another woman, we will have the best society in the world. That is the only problem. We have the root cause of all the problems, what I feel. As a gynecologist, I will advise on this, the people who are listening to this, that you should also take care of your health, because you are the building block of your family and of course of the society. But if the girl is young, and at this international level, International Women's Day, I would like to advise, like, if the girl, if she is having any problem, she should discuss with her mother, her parents,
I think
and should bring in notice, because won't tell to end more problems to them. So women, at International Women's Day, my main idea is to this: the women should be healthy, and they should have the proper rights, proper education, and proper other medical problems should be sorted out for them. That's what I want to say, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Charu Maheshwari. And Dr. Charu Maheshwari has given a new angle for this International Women's Day. She says, not the man, the woman is the enemy of woman. Now, this is a new alarming thing. I am sure that today, whatsoever we are hearing, it's something every of our panelists is giving new thing. And what she says makes sense. She says, sorry, I think some disturbance is coming. Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. I will be muting. I think. Yes, please. So, what Dr. Charu Maheshwari has mentioned is very correctly. She has mentioned. She says that the mother-in-law wants the boy. Not many times, husband says it makes no difference, boy or girl. But the mother-in-law says, no, I want only the boy child, and that's why the problem starts. And she says that if the mindset has to be changed, the mindset of the women has to be changed, not the man. If the woman's mindset will be changed, then everything will be okay. And she has also mentioned that she advised rather to all the women that please see to it that you must be in healthy conditions, because you are giving life to a giving new life. And once you are giving a new life, the person has to be, the child has to be healthy, then only the nation can be healthy. And she is insistent, and she says that only education and everything is only useful when we will train them, and we will see that the ladies, the women, give the full importance to the daughters, and give them the same treatment as they are giving to their son. Thank you very much, Dr. Charu Maheshwari, for giving your views and a new dimension today. So definitely it will be an interesting question answer session. Now I'm going to ask my first question to Dr. Sundari Gandhi. Dr. Sundari Gandhi, we are talking about how to empower women.
Yeah.
We can't empower women easily. Because the reason is the policy makers. The policy makers are not women. They are men. Why they will think about women? As I gave you the data that only 10% is the 9% rather is in the controlling the policy makers, or those who have not I will not term as them as a policy makers. They are one of the MP or MLAs in the parliament or the legislative council sitting saying yes and no. They are not the policy makers. Why? And you say, and everybody says, and I agree with Dr. Charu Maheshwari that this is the fault lies with the women. Women is not supporting the women. You are 48.06% population. And see, in Rajya Sabha, only 25 seats out of 245. Can't you ask, the women ask the politicians, okay, you cannot give us the seats in Lok Sabha because you said winnable conditions, money, muscular power, etc., etc. But Rajya Sabha, they have to be nominated by the political parties. Why no one of your organizations have asked that we want 50% representation in Rajya Sabha? Because if you will have 50% in Rajya Sabha, you have a right in the policy making because you can return the bills passed by the Lok Sabha also. I am sure you might be all aware about the powers of the Rajya Sabha, the upper house of the country. Yeah. And if you are not interested, then how come? How many of the office bearers of a political party, I'm not naming any political parties, are women? How many are there? Even in Panchayat, you see, the Panchayat is reservation is there, the woman is there. But who is running that Panchayat? The husband of the woman. So how we are talking, and we are celebrating International Women's Day. What do you say about this, Dr. Sundari?
Yes, Mr. Goel, I do fully agree with your point. And I do wish to emphasize that it is the women who need to be empowered. Women have to support women, as Dr. Charu said. But again, coming back to your point, policymakers are men, right? Who brought them to this world? Who nurtured them? Who brought them up? Who made these societies? It is a woman. So should we look at how to empower the women, awaken them to think differently? I wish to quote one example in my directorship in a special school. There is a young woman who's got a Down syndrome child. Father, highly qualified father, working in Dubai, left the child when the child was a couple of months, saying, this is a special child. I don't want to have anything to do with it. Hey, you are the father. So who is going to change these women who are ultimately the source for every life coming onto this earth? I have some 10 points of suggestion to shift the mindset of women. One, take action. Don't shut up and sit over things which are hurting you. If something is wrong, something is going wrong, open your mouth and say, I'm sorry, I'm not taking this. Fight for your rights. Two, become an entrepreneur. We are all entrepreneurs. You try to sort of initiate that entrepreneurship in you. Why should you be sitting at home quietly? Just because mother-in-law or someone is saying you can't work. Can't you think of things that will make you financially independent? That's my third point. Every woman, I tell all young girls, till the end, you have to have some money for yourself. Don't trust, don't depend upon others. Third, time management. Many girls don't know time management. Women, learn it. How to balance your home as well as your careers. Four, build a brand for yourself, man. There are so many women who have done it. Why can't you do it? Fifth, understand social media. That's a beautiful platform through which you can become empowered. You're all digital nowadays. Can't you use it? Next one, develop what you call leadership skills from young. Learn to say what you want to say. Why do you just take all the nonsense? Please don't. Become resilient. We women are known to be resilient. Our bodies are made that way. Our minds are made that way. Because pregnancy, all of you will agree, is the most challenging thing for a woman. Many people say it's second life. If you can go through that, why can't you become resilient and face life? Why do you become meek when it comes to challenges? Avoid burnout. Reboot yourself. Many women compromise on burnout. They keep working. घर पे आ गया तो खाना पकाओ, घर चलाओ. Yeah, if you can't do it, why don't you look at some other means? So, Mr. Goel, I only want to say this. Stop asking what the country did for you. Start asking what you can do for yourself. If each woman in every household, you have a mother, Mr. Goel, a sister, etc., etc. If every woman decides to rise up and say, I will fight it out, I'll help the younger girls, I'm sure the policies will change, policymakers will change, and this will be a better nation to live together.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Sundari. Only one thing I will add on you have mentioned that who has given the birth to these leaders? Yes, the mother. So that's why we pray them. We pray Lord Goddess Durga, Lakshmi, Parvati, and Saraswati. They are good for Navratris. They are good for the special occasions of Diwali and Holi. But what about other days? We treat them as a maid servant.
Yes.
And when you mentioned about the mother, yes, I am fortunate. My mother was very empowered. She topped MSc Chemistry in 1948 at that time. She in 1942, when she was only 15 years old, she hosted a flag on the top of the Holkar College in Indore. And she was the champion of many, at that time, it was not the Madhya Pradesh state, it was a combined central state, and she was the champions of many of the sports. And she has given us, although I have no sister, but all the four brothers, she said, and she has given us the values to respect the woman. So that is, but only thing is for which we all have to come out. Thank you very much, Dr. Sundari, for giving your very strong views. Now I would like to go and ask Miss Hemlata Bhandari. Miss Hemlata Bhandari, this is a modern era. Everybody is talking, and you, because you have worked in a male-dominated, I will say, because airport authorities are generally male-dominated. Otherwise, all airline staffs are the women, female staff. But I have seen your working and how the people are working there. What is your view to face the challenges in this time now, Ms. Hemlata Bhandari?
In every corner of the world, we have seen that when women are economically empowered and take a leadership roles, communities are forever changed. Choose to challenge in this year's theme for International Women's Day. The frequent question we come across is, why does the world make a big fuss out of International Women's Day and not International Men's Day? Women of the world over a long period of time was undermined, less appreciated, and had to live without equal rights or opportunities. Suppression, regardless of gender, is highly questionable. As the women of modern era, what do you want? I need my daughter and her daughter and my daughter-in-law to have a future free from gender stereotypes, violence, and social stigma. I want to secure them a future with equal rights and opportunities. Across countries, we women should unite amidst cultural, social, economical, political barriers, obtain societal changes, which incorporates women as a decision maker and act on equal future to all. Girls with dreams become women with vision. Happy International Women's Day. In India, empowerment of women, particularly rural women, is a critical subject in the policies of balanced growth with social equity. Economic empowerment affects women's capacity to control or make the right decision, develop self-confidence, sounder status, and role in the family, etc. Women empowerment means power in the hands of women. It signifies that women should be given equal opportunity in every field irrespective of any discrimination. She helped the elderly and people living with disabilities with HIV and AIDS. These women's empowerment program also promotes skill building, self-esteem, access to information and resources, community action that position women as confident decision makers and leaders in their homes and communities.
Okay.
So I thank Mr. Lal Goel and Nyan for giving this wonderful opportunity to me.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Hemlata ji. Now my question goes to Professor Dr. Vinita Rai. Professor Dr. Vinita Rai, you have spoken about you have raised all the points. Now, one point which you have raised was about the girl child. The other day, I have done one conference, and that was Beti Paraya Dhan Hoti Hai. In that, one of the panelists she's a former Secretary Government of India, an IAS officer, Ms. Bhamati. She has given some alarming figures, although the figures which I am giving you is the actual figures, and the figures are that 2011, for every 1,000 boys ages 0 to 6 years, there were 852 girls in Mumbai. I'm not talking of rural area. I'm talking of the top cosmopolitan city, and 832 girls in Delhi. And what she said, that the worst sex ratio of the girl child is in the most advanced or educated place, that is called South Delhi Defense Colony. This is on record she has mentioned. It means it is not the rural area, it's not the uneducated ladies or the families who are killing the girl child, but the educated, wealthy people are killing the girl child. Then if this is the condition, why we are celebrating this International Women Year? Professor Dr. Vinita Rai, please. Please unmute yourself. Professor Rai, please unmute yourself. Please unmute. No, you have to unmute yourself, Professor Rai. Okay. I think I will move to the other panelist. Please get it unmuted till the time. Okay. My question goes to Dr. Ruxana. My question is very simple to you. You have mentioned about minorities. If it is so, why are we celebrating International Women's Day? We must tell the women should have courage to say no. We don't want any International Women's Day. We are not on the mercy of anyone, whether it is a man or the leaders or whosoever. Have the courage and say this. No, we don't want to celebrate International Women's Day until unless all this disparity which is there lying in our society is not being removed. My question to you is, why not you are coming? Why not all the women are coming in front and say, no, we don't want to celebrate? And all these goodies, WhatsApp messages which you all are receiving, say no, tell them very clearly. These all messages are of no use. These all messages are just fooling you for one day. Please do that. Dr. Ruxana Hasan, please.
Yeah. Lal Goel, I would just like to tell you one thing. It is we who are celebrating. The one who doesn't want us to be powerful, they are still not celebrating. They are still not celebrating. So that's the reason from the last 7 years. Today, this year is the 7th year, where we call many women from minority background with whatever work they have been doing. There are few doctors, there are few advocates, then there are few teachers, then even the people who are working in the Mahanagar Palike. Today also we are having one such function, especially from the minority background, to honor them for whatever they have been doing in spite of all the challenges. If I have to talk about the liberty what I have today, my grandmother was not supposed to even step out of the door. Forget about the gate. my mom was not allowed to go for the shopping. The whole shopping used to come to the house, whether it is vegetables, bangles, whether it is meat, mutton, even those things, they used to bring it. Whatever was the amount she required, she had to take and go. We are totally 9 girls in my family, and I am so happy to say I'm the only girl, I'm the only lady now, only women who has been working, who has completed my graduation, who is
Dr. Rai, I think there is a disturbance coming on from your side.
yes.
Please mute yourself.
Okay.
Doctor. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, no problem. And today I'm proud to say that I just broke the chain and I am standing front with many ladies behind me. Maybe my daughter will take over, or my granddaughter, who is here. I always bring her with me wherever I go so that she learns it from now. Say hello. So she learns it from now that, okay, this is how we have to take over. Even if the society is pressing you, you have to just say, march fast, no above her.
Okay.
As Dr. Sundari has already told, right from birth till her rights.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ruxana, and hi and hello to your granddaughter. I'm sure she will be bold enough, and she will not be complaining like you are complaining. She will change the society soon. Thank you very much, Dr. Ruxana. Now I would like to go to Professor Vinita. Professor Vinita, I have already asked the question to you, which you have already heard about the the sex ratios in Mumbai and Delhi, as well as in the defense colony, that all educated and wealthy people are main culprits of this particular act. Not we are always blame illiteracy, we always blame the rural area. No, these are the facts and figures. What you say about this, Professor Vinita?
According to me, education doesn't mean having degrees. It is, we need to be conscious. We need to understand. We need to practice what we have learned. And at the same time, I think maybe we need to bring about more awareness regarding prenatal diagnostic techniques regulation and prevention of misuse act, which was introduced in the year 1994 and which prevents selective foeticide, and also the medical termination of pregnancy act 1971. We need to give more awareness, and also it's not only education, we need to sensitize people, and we need to, I think each one of us need to support each other. I am from Mangalore, where the Queen of Ullal, fearless queen, Rani Abbakka's place. I think she was a fearless queen. We, as women, need to be fearless. We need to share. We need to break our silence. And we need to help each other. It may be not only women, it may be even for men. Even nowadays, we see even men suffer due to marriage, due to so many things. It's not only the women, but even the men are suffering now. Whether it is a man or a woman, we need to support each other. And I would like to say one more thing. I have a daughter and I have a son. I would like to treat my daughter-in-law as my daughter. What I expect my daughter to be treated as a daughter in her in-law's house, same way I would treat my daughter-in-law as my daughter. If all of us think in this way, I think, and act in this way, there would be a change in the society. Let us be educated, not with the degrees that we have. Let us be conscious about what we are doing. This is my earnest request. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Dr. Vinita. Only my reservation is, what you say about the awareness. I am sure the defense colony or Mumbai or Delhi people are far more aware about these all sex determination tests, and they all are aware about it. This rural or the poor person is not aware about all those things. Still, that killing is more in the cities. And why only in India? Why only in India? If you see UK, USA, everywhere they are. Just hold on, I have to put you on the mute because some disturbance is coming. So in UK and USA, if you see, they always tell the sex of the child where is beginning, but nobody kills the girl child. Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Vinita, for giving your views. Now, my last question goes to Dr. Charu Maheshwari. Dr. Charu Maheshwari, you very rightly said the woman is enemy of her own. Now, 2 days back, I have done a program called Beti Paraya Dhan Hoti Hai. And in that, I mentioned this very clearly, because the mother is always the child has been treated as the daughter is always been treated as a Paraya Dhan. And you are from the North India, and you know the conditions of North Indian household, where from the very beginning, there is a discrimination between a girl child and a boy child, and girl was always told by everyone, even by the mother or the grandmother, forget about the father and grandfather or the brothers, and they were told that you are a Paraya Dhan, you are a others' wealth, you are others' property, and they treat the girls as a commodity. So when this is the condition, and I made one point, maa bhi kabhi beti thi. We always say that mother-in-law was always sometime a daughter-in-law, but we forget that mother was also a daughter at one time, and the same mother expect a male child first, and afterwards the same mother wants to tell the girl that you are a Paraya Dhan, you are others' property, we will not educate properly, if we are educated, you have to marry, so why you want the more money to be spent on you, and all those things. Dr. Charu Maheshwari, and we are celebrating International Women's Day. Don't you think it's a shame on all of us, all the society, even the male? Dr. Charu Maheshwari, please.
Sir, first of all, I will say we are celebrating International Women's Day to bring out again the same thing. We want to highlight the woman that you are most powerful. Last 100 years, we had come to a long way. What we have seen to our conditions, like how our mother-in-law was treated, how our mothers were treated, how their mother-in-law were treated in their life. Now, as how I am upbringing my daughter is totally different. Scenario has changed. A lot of changes are coming, but changes always take time. It may take centuries. So if we have celebrated 100 years of International Women's Day, so we had come a lot different. First, earlier the girls were not allowed to go to school. They were not allowed to come to in front of any male members. Nowadays, girls have progressed so much. So changes are coming, but the meaning of giving these WhatsApp messages and celebrating International Women's Day to bring out the best of them. So every time if we are doing this thing, we are celebrating and we are giving messages, we are discussing this type of platform, we are giving message to the female that you can do a lot of things, but only thing, you need confidence, you have to stand on your part, and then only you can achieve your goal. And once a woman has decided that she wants to do this thing, no male, no other one, nobody can stop her. We know that Savitri has brought back her husband Satyavan from the Yamraj. So I always say to my patient also that you have to stand for you. Nobody will take care, but you have to do your care. Your career is important. Everything is important. But if you are pregnant, you take care of your body and your baby. Then after that, you can take care of your career also. Every woman has to do, a woman can do a multiple role. Men cannot do. Men are like, if you say that men are multitasking, they are multitasking like they are sitting in washroom and watching phone. That is not multitasking. But female, if she has decided she is housewife, she works as a housewife, she's professional, she works as a professional, she is giving and she is a tutor for her kids, and she's a working woman. She's giving so many, she's working so many things, she's occupied with her, but still she's doing the best. I'm not saying she's perfect in every field, but she's doing best in everything. She's doing the best for her husband, she's doing best for her kids, she's doing best for the society.
Okay.
So if we are taking as a woman that why we are celebrating International Women's Day, it is an honor for them.
Okay.
It should be celebrated.
Okay.
And every time we should encourage them to bring a lot of beautiful things from them.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Charu Maheshwari. Although only I will add one thing. Yes, Savitri can fight with Yamraj and bring Satyavan, but no Satyavan would like to fight and bring the life of his wife. That is the
Agree, sir.
problem in Indian society. Anyway, thank you very much, all of you. So today you have seen how the International Women's Day is important, but it is important only when we celebrate it in the real spirit. What we are doing, we are just passing a buck. We just talk, we do all the, we will honor few of the girls or the women achievers, and from next day we will be treating them again as we will be treating the whole year. This is not the right way to celebrate. If you really want to celebrate, please take a pledge that you must give respect to the women, respect their achievements. Yes, they might be competing with you, but it doesn't mean that you treat them as inferior. They all are equal to us. And until unless the women, my message to women is only one: please be united. If you are united, then you are not requiring anyone to empower you. You can empower everyone in the society. Thank you very much. And today's program, which has been live telecasted by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV, News Gaon se Samvad Saroka News, as well as it was shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And our endeavor is to bring to you every day a very, very typical topic. And tomorrow, media conference with Lal Goel, the topic is Kerala, the new development model. And our panelists are Dr. C.V. Anand Bose, IAS, one-man expert commission on labor, Government of India, Professor Dr. M. Abdul Salam, former Vice Chancellor, University of Calicut, Father Roy Kananchira, CMI, National Director, Deepika Children's League, Surivalla. So please join tomorrow for media conference with Lal Goel at 10:30 a.m. Thank you very much, Dr. Sundari Gandhi. Thank you very much, Lata Bandari. Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Vinita Rai. Thank you very much, Dr. Ruxana Hassan. And thank you very much, Dr. Charu Maheshwari, for joining. And thank you all the viewers for joining for such an enlightening